What is up, Motorfest racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We're here today with the Ferrari F8 Spider. I put a top on it, so it's no more Spider, it's just a coupe. But it is really good in the hypercar class. One of the fastest cars that I've run around my test track. I've got a tune that is locked in and tailor-made for anybody that's trying to win a grand race. And overall, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite hypercars. And it's got a pretty decent top speed too. So spoiler alert, we'll show you that here in a minute on the highway. Let's dig into it. Let me show you the build and we'll go for it. First, before we get into the build section of this car, I do want to show you what the customization options are. They are there, but they're kind of limited. 2 hoods to choose from. Multiple front bumpers, but all that really does is add a lip, but you can darken out the lights. Ferrari rims look great on there. And then there's 1 set of side mirrors and a few other parts. So you can tune the car and kind of like do it up, but you can't get crazy and do super wings or anything like that. So just be aware that you get what you get. There's no wide body kits, anything like that. And when you're doing your vanity options, guys, make sure that you're grabbing a set of tires that pushes those wheels out from the body as far as they can go, so that way you're getting the biggest platform and stability for grip. Makes the car handle a little bit. Some people have reported that this car is a little bit tail happy. Well, you put a good set of vanity tires and that's going to help with that. For the video and for the overall like quality of what I was doing, I had those other ones on because I like the aesthetic, but I will be using like those Speed Hog ones because they push the rims out the furthest. So all that being said, that's what we're looking into. It's going to be a great car for you guys. For the pro settings, this is what I use in the testing, and it's what I use in the grand race. Final drive all the way long. You want that way you can get the top speed when you're slipping behind someone or if you're trying to break away. Grip, 100% both front and rear. You need that because it's like I said, it's a little bit of a slippy boy. Brake balance, you fade a lot of that to the back. What that allows you to do is when you hit the brakes, you still have turn in. If you fade it to the front, you can get on the brakes and you stop really good, but you can't turn with that, making it hard to brake and turn in the grand race. So fade it to the rear, you'll be happy with that. It's 43 front, 57 in the rear. Brake power 100% as we always do. Now SakuraCommander helped me tune this car up. I like 100% load in the front and -3 in the rear. I think that's perfect. It's a little slidey if you get up on the curb, but other than that, it's very planted everywhere else. SakuraCommander prefers to have it around 7, -8, somewhere in there. I thought that was a little too rowdy for me. Every time I hit the curb, the butt end would come around. I didn't like that as much. So if you want to go with one way or the other, I'd try -8, see if it's too rowdy for you. If it is, back it off. I like -3. If it's still too rowdy for you, go 100% both front and rear in the load, and it's going to hook up as good as it can, but it's going to be just a skosh understeery. So -3 is that sweet spot for me, you guys. Springs, -16 in the front, +10 in the back. This car, the reason it was so rowdy when you originally get it, if you drove it before you started tuning it, is because it was unbalanced. The front was too stiff and the rear was too soft, and so it just wasn't happy. This balances out the suspension, in me and SakuraCommander's opinion, and really allows it to be very predictable and very equal front and rear. So -16 front, +10 in the rear. Damper compression, -17 in the front, -4 in the rear, and your rebound, -15 in the front, -2 in the rear. Anti-roll bars, +10 in the front and +8 in the rear. Usually we have those two flip-flopped, but in this car, this was the way to get it to turn and not be so crazy slidey on us. And then your alignment, we are full Beyonce on this one, you guys. To the left, -0.25% in the front and 0.25% in the rear. That's going to give you the most mechanical grip. It's going to let the car hook up. It's fast. I do an incredibly good lap around the test track, and I know that if I grind it at all on this track, I could bring it down a lot further. But I got a good run early on. I was like, this is great, and I know I made errors. I like this car. I've got a lot of energy for this one. I think you guys are going to like it too. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. I run it on the test track, kind of talk you guys through what I like about it, and then show you a lap time to validate it. And then I do get it out on the highway and show you the top speed with nitrous. That way you have an idea of what this car will do when you're in a solo act. It'll go a little faster with slipstream, but I don't always have a partner to help me out with that for the videos. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Like the video if you would at this point, if you stayed this far, and if you are not subscribed, hit that button so that way you get updates every time we release builds. If you like racing games, this is the channel to be. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Here we are in the F8 on the test track. It's pretty good. The all-wheel drive hurts us overall in our lap times around this track compared to the other cars that we've tested here, because the all-wheel drive launch is worth almost 2 seconds. So we need to factor that in at the end. The Revoluto does this in a 209. If we can get anywhere in the ballpark of a 210, we know we're in good shape. This track lends itself very well to the all-wheel drive cars because there's a couple sections where we dip the dirt and vice versa. But overall, this F8's pretty good. I do like it. It turns in very smoothly. It sounds really good. It looks really good. It eats up those curbs and gutters very well. And under power, it has no problem rotating and just getting through the corners. So, like that whole section, we were able to cut a very clean line through there. Honestly, it's kind of got all the pieces. Usually I come in there full Papega and I hit the wall sometimes. It's not hard to be fast and consistent with this car. It'll be interesting to see what kind of slipstream and top speed it gets, because like the Bugatti does well into the 305, 306 range. The Noble M500, fastest car in the game, it'll do 315. So it'll be interesting to see what this does when I get it on the highway and actually just do a boost line with it to see what's up. Been working with this car for the most of the day, just trying to get it honed in and tuned in. SakuraCommander have a little bit different. Him and I differ a little bit with how we set this one up. He wanted more load out of the rear, and I felt it just made it too much of a slidey boy for me. So by taking and putting that load back in it, it balanced out the car a lot. Doesn't feel too understeering. It's really good, in my opinion, that way. So coming around the line, oh my god. So we just did a 208.4. That's faster than the Revoluto. And we made some mistakes there on the last lap. This thing's really fast. Short track monster for sure. When Black Panther said it was overpowered, kind of thought it was clickbait. No, that best lap tells me it's not clickbait. That tells me that this car is actually really fast. I need to dig into what this thing does on the highway. Let me get it out, see what the top speed is. That's going to be the defining factor on how it does in a grand race. But if you're not hitting top speed, this thing slays. That's awesome. Let's see what it does on the highway. We're going to go down the hill and then back up. Let's see how fast it goes top end wise. Anything near 300 and we're in danger zone. It spins. It'll do 301 on just nitrous alone. That's not bad at all. That's plenty. A little faster than some of the other hypercars, but not blistering fast compared to like I said, in the Noble we can get it into like 313 or 310 pretty easy. So it's a little slower than that, but goodness, it makes up for it on the short track. Let me turn around. We're gonna hit it back going up the uphill section of that just to see if we can hit the same top speed. It turns really good. That's one of the downsides right there, is being rear-wheel drive, it just spins. Yeah, we can hit 300 going up the hill. 301. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's it's fine. It really is not an issue. I was expecting how well it performed on the short track for it to do like 292 or something like that, like 295, like being actually slow. But you're not going to get walked in a grand race if you're driving this car. It's going to get right with it. Yeah, you don't even need a full tank to get to that 300. I saw 302 for a second. In slip, this will probably do 304. Yeah, this car's great. Potentially my new favorite hypercar. I really like it. I really like it. It's good. You guys, if you don't have this tuned up yet, throw some action at it and give it a go, because it's a banger in my opinion. I'm Alex Cornnut, your wheelman. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
me why you look.